Hey, what's going on, guys? Welcome back to an Aniton's Q&A video. Now, as per the usual, they come out with Q&As and we cover it. Now, this is the fourth Q&A. I've covered two previous ones on the channel, so we did end up missing one, but this is the most recent one. It just took place yesterday. So, yeah, let's just dive in. If you guys haven't watched these Q&A videos, basically, I don't read every question. I just read the questions that are answered. I don't know if every single question was answered, but like I'm not going to read, for example, Zroduth says here, what's the difference between raids and boss battles? I'll read that when Hoki or Bolo answers it rather than reading it twice, just to avoid redundancy. Anyways, if you're kind of wondering like what's Anitons, I'll leave a myriad of links in the description of this video to Monster Tamer Showcase featuring Anitons, Aniton's Kickstarter trailer breakdown, stuff like that, so you can get an idea what the game is. Basically, it's a monster taming, open world, arc-type survival game that has farming as well as real-time combat and stuff like that. So if you don't know what the game is just yet, I'd highly recommend checking out one of my other Anitons videos first and then coming back here. Anyways, with all that out of the way, let's get into it. So, the first question we have here is, why is this... Oh, this is about the server. Nobody cares. Okay. What is the difference between raids and boss battles? And this has to do with the stretch goal. Bolo says, the main difference will be location. Boss battles are against pure forms that you'll need to meet in the wild moving in herds, and raids are completely different locations where you and your friends enter with only one Aniton and try to get to the end of. If you succeed, you'll get unique rewards. So it sounds like raids are sort of like chalice dungeons from Bloodborne. I can imagine them being randomly generated too. Okay. How can pure or shiny Anitons be found? Pure forms will appear in the wild. Once you defeat them, you'll get pure DNA, which allows you to create one. How rare are they? Too early to tell. So I'm very interested in the idea of raids, being a huge fan of MMORPGs. How big could we expect these to be? Would it be at all possible to do with 1 to 2 friends, or would you require 5 to 10 people or larger to compete? You can raid with up to 5 of your friends, 1 Aniton each. I'm kind of hoping that it's possible to beat the raids alone if you're like super jacked or super skilled or whatever. I'm assuming it is because it's real-time combat, so you should be able to beat raids by yourself if you want. I'm hoping that's the case because I always like the challenge of trying to solo something. Okay, regarding the Kickstarter exclusive Griffin Aniton, will they just be able to be constantly bred, or will they have chances of a successful breed occurring to maintain their value, or will they be like any other Aniton, you can just breed them to your heart's content? And this Kickstarter exclusive Aniton has had a bit of a backlash from some of the fans because people are saying it could be pay to win depending on whether or not it's a good Aniton or not. It will be breedable, so you will be able to breed them in as large quantities as you want. We want to ensure that every fan that helped us to bring this project to life has a chance to give away as much of them as he wishes. So this is kind of where I'm at with this Kickstarter exclusive Aniton. There has been some people saying like it's not fair, they can't afford it or whatever, and perhaps they could have done something on the more cosmetic side just so there's no like actual advantage. But I'm getting this Aniton and I'll do like giveaways for it and stuff like that, so that way we have a chance that most people, if not everybody, can get one. What I kind of might do is I might go, like, I might, let's say, breed like 5 of them, depending how long it takes to breed. Like, if breeding takes hours, I'm not going to do it that many. But what I was thinking was, if I breed 5 of them, I can give 5 of them to 5 people, and then have those people breed them out and give them to 5 people, and sort of pay it forward, kind of. If you guys have ever, I believe that's the expression when you do, you know, so someone does something good for you, so you do 3 good things for other people. That's kind of what I want to do. So, you know, you get an Aniton from someone, so you breed it a few times, and you give it to those people, and then they breed it a few times, and that way everyone will eventually get the Aniton, give or take. Anyway, next question is, would you at all be interested in participating in an online convention for monster taming games? Oh, this is from HD22. 9 other monster taming devs said they are interested, and then Bolo said, of course, I will contact you, so yeah, he's gonna contact them. So HDG22 is another YouTuber who's trying to set something up, like a conference, like like an online sort of like monster taming con type thing. I'm not 100% sure how all that stuff works, like on the technological side, like if it's like a big Zoom chat or what. But I'm gonna get a hold of him and talk to him privately and see what he's planning on doing with that, because it could be something interesting. Okay. On the Kickstarter, there's a section stating the release of additional Anitons if they get more funding. Does anyone know if those are in addition to how many they plan to start with, or if those are a part of the initial branch, or if that's just to trickle upon release? The answer to that is we're making as much as we can. We're not set on one number on the moment. More funding equals more Anitons for sure. Remember, guys, that we will still try to get we will still try to get funding even if Kickstarter won't reach all its stretch goals. Yeah, that's another thing to remember. If it doesn't reach the Nintendo Switch stretch goal, it doesn't mean it's not coming to Switch no matter what. There's a high probability that if they get published, it'll end up on the Switch anyway. Okay. With the recent information about various biomes we get, is this game going to have pre-made world, or is it going to be procedurally generated? Pre-made, and the resources will be procedurally generated. Makes sense. Once Kickstarter ends, to receive our respective plushies, how do we go about redeeming the specific plush we want? The Kickstarter provides an option to create a survey where backers will select which one they want to get. We'll also provide an option to change it later if you have second thoughts. Okay, good, because I want my Rhynic plushie. Regarding multiple players on one server/map, can players attack others' bases similar to Rust? And if so, will there be a server setting in which can disable or enable this feature? Answer, your base is safe. The only players that can visit your base are the ones you invite. You can meet other players on online maps, but with that one, your base is safe as well. Is the Griffin Aniton a split evolution? Okay, this is actually interesting because I speculated that it was, and yes, it is. And you can get both, by the way. If you don't reach certain stretch goals, are there plans to do them post-release rather than on-release? We plan to do all the stretch goals regardless of how the Kickstarter goes, but we might not be able to do so at first. So that's another thing to keep in mind. If it doesn't hit all the stretch goals, there's still a chance we'll get that stuff. It's just maybe not right away. It'll take a little longer because they need the funding, right? So let's say the game comes out and maybe they need to use some of the sales to implement the rest of the stuff like that. Okay. It may be a silly question, but as a deaf player, will there be an option to... Oh, sorry. Okay, Oh no. That's right. I was reading the question. Never mind. For some reason I thought I was reading the original question and not the answer. Okay. Will there be an option to have subtitles when something happens, etc.? And the answer to that for Jeanette is there will be subtitles, and they'll take that into account to make gameplay easier for deaf people. Excited to be a new backer. I just backed. Was wondering at launch how many different Anitons are planned for the game, and will there be additional updates in the future? They say yes, we plan to create up to 126 Anitons, but the amount is strictly tied to our stretch goals. We want to also focus on their quality, usefulness, skills, animations, and we won't choose quantity over it. Okay. Next question. I plan on buying the game both on PC and Switch if it's ported. As well, will my progress be portable between both versions, or will I have to run two different characters? We can't promise that at the moment. It is listed as a planned feature, though. Okay, character customization question. The different outfits you can have, will there be more sets of different cosmetic items constantly added to the game? For instance, there are the base cosmetics upon release, but you might add more over time. Maybe even designing competitions. And then the answer to that is yes, of course. We want to add a bunch of them with events, and also make public voting where fans can choose their favorite designs that will be added to the game. I love the concept to create type-based cosmetics where you can dress up as a champion of a specific type. This will be an option for sure. Okay, the game's obviously inspired by Pokemon. Okay, this is asking, will there be Shinies? Yes, there's pure forms, and you can see a picture here. I chimed in on a couple questions. I haven't read everyone else's questions, so I hope I didn't actually accidentally ask what someone else asked. Okay, do you have a planned amount of time the campaign should take? It's kind of hard to tell. Campaign going to require you to do some progression in terms of base building as well, or resource gathering. Can't say at the moment how long stuff will take, since not all the mechanics are final at the moment. Okay. My question was, I noticed the Kickstarter page mentions if we don't hit the first stretch goal, we're not sure if the game will be made. And I was asking if that was a typo because someone had brought that up to me, and it sounded like they were saying they needed more than their original goal to make the game. And then Bolo just said, no, it wasn't. I figured it was a typo, but yeah, it was a typo. So yeah, as long as they get that 75K, the game's a surefire thing. Okay, is there a chance that when you hit 310K stretch goal but decide not to release it on PS4 and the old Xbox, that the consoles are irrelevant in 2023? Marlon, so I was answering Marlon. We're still planning on releasing on old generation consoles, even if they become less relevant. If people miss out on the Kickstarter, will there be some sort of backer tiers added to the website to allow them to get access to, let's say, the $30 package to join the beta? Yes, so if you miss the Kickstarter, there'll still be late backing rewards, probably not including the plushes and stuff, though. If the Kickstarter reaches all its stretch goals, what will the ATA be? There's a roadmap on Kickstarter. Come on, Jolly. Will there be more to making Anitons than just DNA points? Because I thought kind of like gathering DNA for creating Anitons, but DNA just doesn't sound fun. There will be more than one way to get DNA, so also evolution will also require more than DNA. Yeah, you can get DNA either by killing Anitons or like enemy Anitons or farming. I know that for a fact. Okay, how would the dynamic weather system, if reached, affect Anitons in the world itself? Rain make plants grow faster, etc. Yeah, also specific weather would boost stats of certain types or the opposite. Okay, so this one was asked by Leo. Your Kickstarter has no demo. How do you feel about the fact that a good chunk of projects on Kickstarters got funded but failed and disappointed backers? This is exactly the main reason why we waited so long to start our Kickstarter. We wanted to create a prototype where everyone could see our basic features. We know we have know and how required skills to create a game, but as a player myself, I would like to see gameplay as such before I consider backing. There's a gameplay trailer running smoothly in 60 FPS here. Do they have any plans for the people to... sorry, do they have any community stuff, like community translations, fans design, stuff like that to get in the game? Hoki Roya says yes. When the game is fully released, will there be some kind of big O PayPal or something to let people donate whatever they want? If the game will have a full release, we don't want to make such a thing. We plan to extend our plushie collection so that everyone decides to support the game will get something awesome in return. That'd be cool. I really want to see a plushie shop. I'll buy all of them. What's the difference between closed beta and closed alpha? State of the game, yeah. So the alpha's earlier, beta's not as early. Yeah, here we go. Alpha May 2021, beta 2021 in October. So alpha's May 2021, beta's October 2021, and there's less stuff. Would I be able to play co-op during the alpha, or would it just be single player, or is it too early to tell? We have multiplayer running right now. If we hit the multiplayer stretch goal, then we would implement it online in alpha. However, if we don't, we'll have to cut this feature out until release. Will there be any Anitons that allowed? Will there be any Anitons that's allowed to do art? And then they just asked for an explanation on that. Okay, you guys reach over 50 Anitons, and you're planning 126. Are you gonna add more than 126? Original plans are to make around 130. If by any chance we get more money than expected, there may be more, but if we get less money, that number may shrink. Sorry I haven't been here before. There's an answer today, but how will single type Anitons compete with dual type ones? Dual type's not always a good thing because dual types can be more weaknesses. Yeah, it makes sense. Okay, this is my question. If the Kickstarter doesn't reach its console stretch goal, will the possibility of a console release still be within the realm of possibilities upon... wow, I said possibilities a lot of times there. Upon finding a publisher? And then Hoki says yes. Okay, if the Kickstarter... Oh, this is all... Bolo answered it as well. Of course, we want to find any possible ways to get Anitons onto consoles. The best and most straightforward way is to hit the stretch goal. If we don't, we won't abandon our fans from other platforms, and we do plan to get this game ported. Okay, is there going to be anything that tells us how elements interact with each other in the near future? Yeah, there will be something like that. We planned it for the Kickstarter originally, but it didn't make it in time. I'm excited for that personally because then I can make an Anitons type video. Okay, what I meant with that, is there going to be any rewards called salary per se, but in the sense of in-game stuff? For sure, not at the moment. It would be, but naming the credits is one thing, probably in-game cosmetics as well. Okay, will there be any Anitons that will be able to do art? Example, a small monkey who can paint and you can control it. Oh, that's a good idea. We don't have anything planned, but this could fill empty slots in our Anitons list. We have an option to hang pictures around your house, so that would be awesome. When the game is fully released, will you guys keep updating the game, or will you develop a new game? We'll keep updating. We love the way Arc develops, and we'll take a similar approach. This means a lot of events and small or bigger updates. What does Too Bigo mean, and why is Bolo the big boss of the team? Too Bigo is a secret acronym at this moment. We're waiting for someone to figure out, and the hint is purple. Huh. Might have to figure it out then. Might have to figure it out. Okay, for revealed Aniton designs, are they set in stone already, or is it adjustable to community feedback? Nothing's set in stone. Everything may change. What is going to be the use for farming, obtaining Anitons, growing vegetables and stuff, etc. So farming will get you resources that you'll be able to feed your Anitons and heal them if necessary. What does Too Bigo? Okay, so they already said that. Also, I'm a project manager. This means that I do sometimes what is unpleasant, but Hoki always cheers me up with something beautiful like new Anitons concept or concept art. Will there be any live map-changing events like Fortnite or something? Yeah, there'll be a bunch of different types of events, boss fights, weather events, and many others. Okay, this is my question again. Are you guys open to the idea of cross-game Easter eggs? Sorry if this has been asked before, because I wasn't sure. Specifically, for example, having an Aniton show up in another game, and having a monster from another game showing up as an Aniton. And Bolo writes, of course, we're open for cooperation at all times. This is a good place to say big thanks to the SkyMill team, who's already helped them immensely. So, SkyMill is the developers of Kindred Fates, if you didn't know. Okay, aside from pure forms, are there any other differences in customization planned for Anitons? There will be cosmetics. That's interesting. I wonder if I'm going to be able to put a hat on my Aniton. How long do you expect to wait for the alpha after the Kickstarter ends? We want to share alpha May 2021. The scope of it is not known yet, but we know that the game will be better if fans participate in development as soon as possible. How will the advancement in technology work? Is it like how Architect advancements work? Not really. Building will be more cosmetic, but utilities will give you more of an advancement. But it's not like Arc where you go from a thatch to metal stuff. I don't know any of that. I don't know what any of that means. Okay, did y'all know that we greatly appreciate your work in the project? It's awesome. I love you for that. How wholesome. Okay, will there be helpers of sorts for the server in case the devs or mods are gone? Helpers are basically moderators with limited perm, unlike moderators. As the server grows, we'll get more help from the community. How many Anitons are you planning? They already said that, 130, depends on funding. Do you think you'll release some info about moves and combat before the end of this year? I love to theory craft and munch on numbers only for games. We do plan more combat-based gameplay. Oh, this month. Okay, that's interesting. I'm excited for that. Oh, we're almost at the end here. How are you guys going to advertise this game, and will you advertise the Kickstarter? We already worked with a couple YouTubers on this, and we're trying to reach more. If you have any idea of who can help us, please let us know. Okay, they already reached out to Ruffled Rowlet. I actually suggested they do that because he already had done the Kindred Fates thing, and that sort of helped. They might want to check out that A-Drive guy because he also did a Kindred Fates thing, and it really helped. See, I'm not big into Poke Tubing anymore. Is Munching Orange still relevant? Or the J-Wits? Those guys have bigger audiences though, so I don't know how much it would cost to advertise with them. But guys like that might really help the Kickstarter out. Okay, one of my favorite features of Pokemon is finding and restoring fossils. Since we will be making Anitons from DNAs, will the game have a similar feature? There will be more ways to get DNA rather than fighting Anitons. Okay, will you guys plan on collaborating with different games and making collaboration exclusive stuff? We want to make sure that every fan has an exclusive Aniton and wants to share it with others, and I'll have an option for that. We're open to any collaborations since we love the monster gaming genre. And that's the last question. So, I really want to see them do something with Kindred Fates. That would be the ultimate collab, because they're both 3D games, right? Another good collaboration would be, I'm trying to remember, there's another developer that's not too far off from where they are. I mean, a Koromon collaboration would be sick. Can you imagine, like if they brought, well, I mean, I like the Silquil line from Koromon. Can you imagine if they brought those into Anitons, like fully realized 3D version of a Koromon or a Monster Crown monster? Oh, there's a lot that can happen. Oh, Necromancer's Gift would be a nice collaboration too. This stuff needs to happen. This is what the game dev chat in my Discord is for all these game devs to talk and do things like this. So hopefully my Discord kind of helps facilitate that type of stuff. We know that there's a pretty good chance that Necromancer's Gift is collabing with Cloxmons on something. So I'd like to see more of that happen. But yeah, that was the entire Q&A. We learned some interesting information, and if you want to learn more about the game, I am interviewing Bolo for my podcast, and that should be up next week. So you can come to the Discord and you can ask questions about stuff like that. Like if we go here, we have questions for Anitons devs. We got quite a few questions going on here in the Discord, so definitely come ask your questions for Bolo. And we're not sure yet if it's just going to be Bolo or if it's going to be more than just Bolo, but either way, I mean, he's the head honcho, so you know, we got we can put him on the spot and ask him all our questions. But yeah, so definitely come to the Discord, ask some questions before I have to close it up. And yeah, if you did enjoy the video, make sure to like and subscribe. Follow me on Twitter, GymLeaderEd. Check out my Discord and Patreon. All links in the description. Until next time, peace.